Well, here we are. Happy, happy, happy New Year. What does it mean to actually say Happy New Year? I'm Dr. Jody Bear, and it's my distinct honor and privilege to go ahead and say Happy New Year. Let's thrive in 2025, shall we? There are instances we've had things that didn't survive and thrive this year. So I just really want to be reverent to what has happened over the new year in New Orleans, what's happened to the victims in LA. It's the worst disaster that's ever happened in the city of LA. And then we've got this wonderful president who had 100 years on this life. I lived in Georgia for 20, so I know President Jimmy Carter very, very well by just seeing him on TV and the measure of a man who shows up when he's no longer there. So let's just take a moment of silence, shall we? And then we're going to begin with my introduction on Health Coach Jody, but I just wanted to come for just a moment here so we could have just a moment of prayer and a moment of silence. And Heavenly Father, when we lead in to this spiritual pillar, there is hope. So we give the victims of both New Orleans and LA hope and healing. And we give healing to the Carter family to know that an icon has left him, but an icon now has its angel wings. And we ask that you guide us in all things that we do in 2025. So if you said that prayer with me, would you just say amen? And let's get Healthopedia 365 and let's get to thrive in 2025 and this life's milkshake moment going, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you America's top foundational health coach, Dr. Joe D.
Well, thank you for allowing me to have two introductions. And yes, this is life's milkshake moment. Absolutely. The New Year's. Yes, New Year's. Let's thrive in 2025. My first question for you is how will you drive your engine in all six pillars of health and hope? For 47 years, I was proud and honored and humbled to say that I had over 35,000 client patients who were able to drop that toxic fat lost, and with a 5% recidivism rate, 1.1 million pounds. And I still do it on a case-by-case basis. So if you find yourself carrying that 19 around, it doesn't have anything to do with COVID-19 this time, well, just ping me, DM me at any of my social media handles, and there might be a spot for you. But then when I unretired, because my husband said to me, just how much yoga are you going to do? It was about this time last year. I was happily getting into my retirement groove. I'd sold my practice, signed an NDA, and I thought, well, I was done with this. But as Dr. Bill Janicek, one of our wonderful Doctor Talk partners, that he always says the one thing that Jody Bear doesn't know how to do well is retire. So he got my nudge, and I'm so grateful that I got the nudge to be more and do more. Maybe that's what you will do in this new year. You got that nudge to be more, do more. Well, I can tell you my be more and do more because I didn't have a website. I did everything by referral basis only. I basically sucked at marketing and knew nothing about doing anything but click and order. Inside the brick and mortar, I would help people. We'd drum up this and we would consult and make them well. Now, all of a sudden, I'm in this world of everything. Well, if you've got a desire, say, no, this is my year. This is the mid 2020s. This is my time to shine. And I can make it mine. You can do it with these 6 pillars of health. And that's what we're going to do here today. Got some surprises for you as well. But just think about it. How will you have this? I'm claiming this, your mine, to shine in 2025. How will you drive your engine? Remember, it's a Lamborghini. Our Heavenly Father only gave you one body, una vida, one life, una cuerpo, one body. It's about all the Spanish I know. But you can and you will, and I believe you deserve to make a difference. So we're going to go through the spiritual, then mental, emotional, physical, financial, and social. I'm going to give you these tips and tricks, just those pillars that we can go through. But before we do this, let's dial in to our wonderful, wonderful sponsor, New Hope Regeneration. I will say this over and over and over about Kevin Lucas and this group. Amazing, amazing, amazing that people don't even let me go when I've got to go ahead and be. I'm sure you're hearing this binging. Oh, well, we're going to turn off the phone and let it go. What I can say is this: we can go ahead and go into regeneration or degeneration. It begins with this thing called stem cell, real stem cell. As many of you know my story, I was absolutely, when I tell this, my nose itches because I remember it so well. It's like it was yesterday, but I was able to let it go. Paralyzed from the shoulders on down. Ever have anything hit you out of the blue? Well, that was that car that broadsided by a Lincoln Continental when I was 24 years old. I never made it to that performance. And I never made it past for the next 40 years of having pain in my neck, actually 44, until I met Kevin Lucas. He said, I think you can help. I have been pain-free for 2 years. It's real hope from Hope Regeneration. Take a look, take a feel, take a listen.
Hope and restoration really are ingrained in us. We're designed. It's literally in our DNA. The ability to have the body heal and have the mind and the soul, all these things are important. But what I believe my path is, and the way that I help people with that process, is that I specialize in the physiological aspect. So for 20 years in my private practice as a board certified structural integrator, I thought I was helping people restore their bodies, but I realized I was helping them manage their decline. The restoration of families is significant. I can't tell you how many times I would have a mom in tears in my office because she couldn't get on the floor and play with her kids. I would have a dad who couldn't go on a hike or throw a ball with his son or his daughter. It's really, when you ask people, what's the biggest problem here? My back pain hurts. Okay, if you didn't have back pain, what would you do? Then we get the list of, my wife and I could go on a motorcycle ride. We could go camping. I could go play soccer with my son. I could, whatever it happens to be. Now we're in a situation where a person can receive these amazing infinity cells. The body can use those cells for what it knows it needs to do. Our clients are able to receive the most simple thing that I have ever seen in all of healthcare, and they're able to get their life back at a level that many people would say was impossible. And quite frankly, until 5 years ago, I would have also told you that was impossible because we never see it. And now we see it all over the country, hundreds of times a day, thousands of times a year. And now I've observed this process over 125,000 times. I just almost don't have words to know, after I've seen it so many times, what kind of hope people can get back in their lives. If we can help your body do what it's naturally designed to do, which is to regenerate and restore and heal, you can then begin to do so many other things that you didn't think you were ever going to be able to do. And that really is why, I'm so obsessed with what we're doing.
I'm obsessed by New Hope Infinity Cells. I believe it's going to be until infinity that I feel this way, thanks to New Hope Regeneration. And you can too. Dr. Jody approved. Thank you, Kevin, for giving us all hope. So here's our year in review, shall we? Here we are, our bestseller, Amazon internationally in all markets. Remember, we sold out of these books on Amazon in 3 hours. They underestimated the power of 40 women. Then we went international bestseller in Kobo, Barnes and Noble, and Wall Street Journal C-suite. I'm so blessed and honored to say that 20 of our Healthopedia authors will be joining, thanks to great collaboration, in New York on the 3rd of February. We will be on the TKTS, the Times Square billboard. Never underestimate the power of goal setting. And I'll get into this in just a moment, is when I really did my bit on the TKTS board that I will be there. And here we are with all of you. Then we're going to go ahead and go into the rest of this. But I just want to say the sales just keep on coming with our book. You can go ahead and scan that code still. A portion of each book that is purchased goes to help feed the children.org. It's a wonderful group that actually goes ahead, because 1 out of 5 children in America under 18 go hungry to bed every single day. You buy the book, buy one for a friend, and you feed that child for a month. If you keep that cycle going, you will feed that child for a year. And if we go further and doing it with your 10 friends who do 10 friends, we can feed, get this, every child in America. Isn't that a worthy goal? So make sure that you go ahead and get your copy, get one for a friend, and let's just keep that going. Speaking of keeping it going, and if you go to this site, the essenceofawomanbook.com, you can actually get it personally autographed by me. So thank you to Tiffany Haddish, Dr. Khalila Camacho Ali, Her Royal Highness Princess Dr. Moradeun Ogulana, and our 38 other amazing international best-selling authors. 2025, that will be our year. What motor are you going to drive and thrive for your 2025? Well, we started January 1st with our next solo author, Eric Zender. He's known as the quotation artist with over 20,000 quotes that he has done, his Beauty and the Best. What a great way to start your 2025. Highly recommended. Just go to Beauty and the Best, Eric Zender, Zehnder. He is an Amazon bestseller, will be a Barnes and Noble bestseller by the end of this week, and actually is the quote master for our incoming president, President Donald J. Trump. And on the Angel Day, you heard her here twice. Life's Milkshake moment 2 weeks ago. And then Dr. Needy Solomon was here for Mindset Monday. Let's just unzip and get naked with your health. Join us as she goes live. She will go live with her book. Her launch is, it's got to be Angel Day, because like I said, she is an angel. Her book launch date is January 11th. January 11th. Be on Instagram. You'll hear me going live with Dr. Needy Solomon on our IG page, which is Healthopedia 365. Just like and follow us. You'll hear such wonderful quotes from everybody that it's just not to be missed. So go at 11 o'clock on the 11th, to 11 days, and just go ahead, download Dr. Needy's book. Go ahead and buy Dr. Needy's book. And why will you want to do that? Because she is going to create a dress up vitality companion book, so you can really, like, it's a do-it-yourself course for you, your health, and your amazing body, because it is an awesome program. And then save this date, and we'll be talking with Dr. Nephetina Serrano when we get this far. Put the date of February 5th, 4th, and 5th at the UN. You just never know where miracles do abound, do we? We just never know. As my quote from our Healthopedia book went, miracles occur every day. Beckon them in. Well, what are you going to beckon in to your life? Beckon in those miracles. We're going to start at the spiritual pillar of health. The spiritual pillar of health. What does this mean? I love thinking, as I say, with hope. Always go up to your true north. to heal. Go down to find your own healing, that foundational health, but then go in optimism and to be and live the law of attraction. And then you go out in empowerment. That is really, really hope, to heal, to go down, to look up in optimism, come in positivity, and go out in empowerment. That spells hope. Well, no matter who you believe in, who you pray to, just remember one quote that I think is just time tested, because it was Leo Buscaglia that said, "We are spiritual beings in a human experience." Dr. Leo Buscaglia, the love doctor, because love is the highest frequency, and love gives you so much more. And love what you do, love who you do it with, and love yourself. That is a spiritual frequency, and that's being in that of that place of just saying, I'm going to be part divine masculine, getting things done or getting stuff done, but divine feminine, to do it in that relational way. It's that balance. And truly, truly just immerse yourself in this, in all the rest of the 6 pillars, shall you? And shall we? What is this? Immerse yourself in the flow of who you are and how you are becoming. I think it really comes into the mental pillar when we talk about how you're becoming in the flow. I know that you've heard me say a lot of these things many, many times. I hope it's really sinking in a different way today. That's my desire, because that intention, you know, I love area Econof. I still have this on one of my computers, and it said intention, what you do when you say a thing, but what you mean when you say a thing. So, what do you mean with an intention? I will give you my intention for this year. Just one word. Yours may be focus, it may be mindfulness. Mine is peace, because I can come into this space now saying successfully that I've gotten through behind me 3 holidays, although I celebrate Christmas during our real Savior's birth in September during the Feast of Tabernacles. But people congregate together, but I made it through without my big bear. And I can say this, there's still a hole in my heart, always will be, but I'm saying I will come in to the flow, to immerse myself in the flow. I thought to myself, and do this after you've meditated. Have a real great mental time with you and you, because you are the CEO of you. Okay. And say, okay, what should my intention be? You still have time. To me, a great intention is, for me, is peace. How can I find a peace in everything I do? Well, I'm going to give you a tip. You've heard me. We just heard the regeneration with New Hope Regeneration. We're either regenerating or we're degenerating. What does that look like? Regeneration starts with gratitude. Gratitude. Then peace comes after that. Peace comes after gratitude. What is after gratitude? That it can be abundance, peace, love, joy, passion, ecstasy. Stay in that divine frequency. And that doesn't mean that you have to go like this. Just stay in that mindful peace. Remember, immerse yourself in the flow of who you are and how you are becoming. I never knew that my great friend Rex Sykes quote, and that I'm going to bring up here in just a minute, celebrate everything, would mean that much to me during these last 90 days without my big bear. But it has meant that I'm going to celebrate him, celebrate his life. You'll see when my cameo fill-in guest for today, Dr. Nephetina Serrano, because the princess has a little more than just a piece. She's got a froggy throat. So, of course, her ambassador from North America is going to fill us in on what we're doing in February in New York City with the UN. But my goodness gracious, when I think about celebrating everything and I stay in that joy and I stay in gratitude, I stay in peace. When you get and slip, it'll be frustration. You're already on that downward pipe. Then you come to depression, anger, hatred, disease, and death. Catch yourself. Catch yourself. Be accountable to you because remember, you're the only person that will never leave you. Husbands and wives may. Through divorce, in my case, it was his passing and the big bear now, my big bear being on and ongoing in heaven. Well, just know that you are the CEO of you. So be good to you and be good to you yourself in the emotional framework. That is when I think about Helen Keller. How easily could she have been just so frustrated not being able to see or hear? But her quote, when she says in this emotional pillar, hang on to this. She says, in my life, I've never held myself captive to my emotions. Why do I bring this up? You can be with emotion, but there's a difference between emotion and emotional. Because when you get emotional, you go in that, I call it that whirling dervish kind of way. She talked about being held captive of that because being emotional is very close to frustrated and frustration, anger, depression, hatred, disease, and death. So just know at the end, it all works out. Leo Buscaglia already told us we're human becomings. We're a spiritual being in a human experience. It all works out. Somehow it all works out. It will all work out. There's an end to everything. Now we're in winter. Guess what happens after winter, gang? We come to spring, rejuvenation, summer, fall, and then winter again. There's a cycle. There's a cycle and rhythm to all life. So just remember to stay. I think what Helen Keller meant with this, with that divine feminine, that emotion of your emotions, ladies. Go give that driver your masculine because you're half egg and you're half sperm. You got your mom and daddy on both sides now, don't you? But then you go in and feel that amazingness, which is you in the flow. And I think it will be amazing. It will just be amazing. So in all of that, let's go ahead and take our next commercial break until we get in to the physical pillar. And we're doing that break with none other than Dame Doria Cordova. Dame Doria Cordova, my favorite. Do you talk about a woman who has supported me in these last 90 days? Her Money and You is coming up. And we talk about her. She's in the financial pillar. She talks about leverage. Let's go ahead and get something going here and be with us when we say San Diego, the 15th through the 18th. Why? Because at that time, there will be an amazing opportunity to go ahead and learn leverage. You can get a discount code if you just take that screen share right here, right now, underneath it. But let's listen to the dame herself talking about Money and You. I just have some inside information. It's quite amazing who is coming to this. They're going to be CEOs bringing their teams. That's a beautiful way to begin. Here is the incomparable Dame Doria Cordova of Money and You.
Money and You is the longest running entrepreneurial, experiential, transformational training in the world. And we have been impacting the lives of over 200,000 graduates from over 85 countries since 1979. I am Doria Cordova and I own Money and You. And I would like to invite you to join us to the next program where you will have an opportunity to be with a group of people that will all be immersed in experiential games where you have an opportunity to clear any blocks that you may have to really creating wealth and doing good. But at the same time, learn the business success model, which really immerses you into a conversation about leverage. Leverage is key in creating wealth and doing good. And we have the results to show that this program works. People like Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Ben Cohen of Ben and Jerry's, and many others have attended this program and changed their lives and created new industry and are some of the most well-known change makers in the world. Thank you. Aloha. Bye-bye.
Thank you, aloha, and let's see you out in San Diego. Just scan that discount code and let's see you. It truly is 45 years Dame Doria Cordova has done this. Who has done something for 45 years? I guess 300,000 students can't be wrong. So you can't be wrong in your physical pillar either. As we move through this, the physical, I hear the process. I hear the process with Dr. Jim Maranaka. It's just simple things you can do. I will say with the physical, and why you say, why is physical after mental and emotional? Because if your emotions are messed up, if your mental is messed up and you don't have a spiritual continuity, you can kiss, you know what, goodbye when it comes to your physical. You can do all kinds of things and it will not matter. So I want you to go to this. This is on my website. It's my blog, 10 Rituals to Rock Your Day. It's free, it's there, and it really, really works. It works when you do. You see, I believe that when you do these 10 rituals to rock your day and they become integrated in you, that's when you don't have to think, oh, I've got to detox. Oh, I've got to do this. It's not, I gotta, I want to. It's that switch to want from have to. No one has to do anything but wanting to. And frankly, the best exercise is the one I did today and the one I'll do tomorrow. Make it your autonomic nervous system walk. Make the parasite cleanse your daily go-to. He said, but I've never done a parasite cleanse. I don't know what it is. Well, DM me on Healthopedia 365. You can go to my website, drjody.com, without the blogs. I have a few spots that I still do sparingly, do health coaching because it is important. It's important that you do this. You can go and get some tips on our YouTube site, Healthopedia 365. Like, subscribe, and share. I've talked about the parasites. I can either say one of two things. Either they're aliens outside your body, or if the aliens have invaded, let's talk. And truthfully, that 5 detox segment, because there are 5 seasons, not just 4. There is winter, spring, summer, Indian summer with traditional Chinese medicine. And then we come into fall. So a cleanse for every single season is how we do it. So when you think about in your physical body, what should you do? Just be good to you. Starting, and I'm going to review. The first thing you want to do is that you want to take really good care of you and your world first. How do you do that? When you take care of you and your world, no matter what's going on out there, saying, my first thing, I did this when I was a single mom, sole support, 100% custody of my sons, and we were busy. Guess what was the first thing? Those running shoes were back at the door with my running gear. And I made it so easy that I could crawl out of bed into them and I was gone. That's just how you do it. Make it a part of you. Schedule it. Schedule it so it's a routine. Schedule, then it becomes a ritual. And then you're accountable to so many things that it just makes sense. So after we've said to the physical, we just heard Dame Doria Cordova talk about leverage. Yes, it's money and you. That is the financial pillar. She wrote such a great piece, and I wanted to bring this up. I'm sure I can find it out of our first book, Healthopedia, the one that went viral and bestseller like craziness and everything else. Let's see what Dame Doria Cordova. She said, "Okay, I knew I'd find it. Sufficiency, the key to access. So, but I don't have any money now. It's how can you access money? How can and the new definition of wealth, it's not what you think. And this is why she has been such an iconic woman in this world. It's impossible to be wealthy without being of service. Wealth is certain things. Wealth gives you options. Wealth gives you options. Remember, leverage. That's what you'll learn at Money and You. I'm so grateful that I said yes. I know another one of our authors, so I'm going to finally get to meet Jamie Kerr and his wife Jennifer Kerr, our two Healthopedia authors. Jamie was in Healthopedia. Jennifer was in The Essence of a Woman, the power couple, the millennial power couple, back in Times Square in February, on the 3rd of February. I'm so excited to meet them. And like he said, I'm just going to say yes to everything. Maybe that's, if somebody gives you an opportunity, it's easy to put up a roadblock. But a butt doesn't drive anything. A butt is something you sit on. Okay. So just think, say yes to everything. It's like what James Doria teaches us. If you have a product, if you have a service, I have a product or service, they have money. It's just an energy transfer. Let me ask you a question. Are you good people? Yes, you are. Or you wouldn't be here listening in and being and making yourself the most of what you can be and do. And so you can drive that engine and drive and thrive in 2025. Good people do good things with their money, just like when you buy a copy of our Essence of a Woman book. Every copy, we go ahead and give a portion of the sales through feedachild.org to the victims and the children that are still hungry, living in tents in this cold. They're living impoverished in Western North Carolina. So another way in your physical being and whatever is that you can get we haven't done a Vibra commercial in a long time. You know, this is my coffee. This is our coffee. This is, I don't know why I didn't do this. You can see it. It's Vibra 360. Mushroom coffee will give you energy and alkalinity with none of the crash and all of the energy. Let's take a look, take a listen. And like I said, formulated and recommended by none other than Dr. Jody. Never was a coffee drinker, but now I am. Just go to drjody.com/Vibra-360. It's under my tab for health. Your body will thank you for it. Acuity, alertness, you name it, it's all there. And it's all there when you wind this up with the social pillar. I come back to Buckminster Fuller. What did he say? When you have an economic engine, when you have sufficiency, you do it for the world. And a good way of doing this as we wind up the social pillar, I'm just going to say thanks for being part of our sponsor patrons, starting out the new year with our Healthopedia network on Traverse TV. You also, just like PBS, it takes money to bring these programs to fruition. So thanks in advance for supporting us. You can go back and see over 300 shows since we started this channel, both on YouTube, Healthopedia 365, and on TraverseTV.com. You'll find things on health in all 6 pillars. So let's just wind this up now with Buckminster Fuller. I love this quote. And why? Because it says who he is. Being a futurist, the geodesic dome, how he brought himself up and back of service to mankind. Now, Dame Doria has been doing his work for over 45 years. I will tell you that Buckminster Fuller gave the mantle to Dame Doria, and then she went further. Just like what I remember as a fledgling health coach when I looked at Dr. Hulda Clark and said, please, would you take me on as a mentee? And she said, don't you know, I am 70 years old. I'm not taking any mentees. I said, would you please take me? Then what happened? This is how I got her, because I said, what if I'm the person that's supposed to take your message long after you're gone? If I'm speaking to you, fellow baby boomers, you have music that is yet to be played. Find your mentee, like Hulda Clark brought me up. That's what we've done, not only in Healthopedia, but we've done it in the Essence of a Woman book, because there are just as many, I'm going to say, women of wisdom, seasoned senior citizens, baby boomers, to bring up the next generation. That's what Buckminster Fuller said. Our design is to make the world work for 100% of humanity in the shortest possible time through spontaneous cooperation without ecological offense or disadvantage of or to anyone. It can be an advantage and a win-win for all of us. And frankly, Buckminster Fuller's quote, just in that quantum field of that energy intention, I didn't know that Eric Zender was going to be a best-selling author with us. I didn't know that Dr. Joe Cleaver would be a best-selling author with Healthopedia. I didn't even know Dr. Needy Solomon of Naked Health. But I put the intention out there, my net, that we were going to continue to publish books on health. Now I'm going to go a little bit outside the box, because soon you will see the banner of my Big Bears books changed from his former publisher to Healthopedia 365. And I want to give all the honor and praise, or Terry Armstrong just calling up and said, well, Jody, if you are a publisher now, it makes sense for your husband's books to be published through Healthopedia. So be looking at the end of January. My husband, Bob Bear's book, Passing It On, which he wrote for the Department of Defense. You talk about a social pillar piece in this. It was right after 9/11. It was read by every deployed man and woman in the Middle East and all officers. It's now public domain. And when I was going through the excavation of all things Dr. Bob Bear, here I found the sequel, As Good as the Rest. We're going to publish As Good as the Rest, which is the inside history on how the British losing in Afghanistan started and ignited World War II. Fascinating read. And I can tell you, it's a page turner, because that's just how Bob Bear wrote. And that's going to be in conjunction with, which I'm very happy to say, miracles occur every day. Just beckon them in. Who knew that Princess, Her Royal Highness, Dr. Moradeun Ogulana, would come to me and say to me, I would like for you to be our keynote speaker for the American Women's Health Project International. What is that? Well, these are her two big initiatives. AWHPI, African Women's Health Project International, is where she helps the underserved women in Africa with their health. And she has a human trafficking part of this and an empowerment piece unlike any other. That's just Princess Ogulana. And frankly, what she was doing, like I said, unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, but I know because she had a little froggy throat. And I think that more than anything, and I'll say, yes, Tom, thanks for using the screen. It looks great. Yes, I'm going to say back to you, Tom, thanks for giving it to me. That's just what you do. You're such a giver of beautiful things, beautiful things. So in knowing this, after my husband's virtual celebration of life, Princess came to me and said, would you be the keynote speaker? Of course, I said yes. What did we do next? After I said, of course, I said next. And I said yes. The next thing is she came to me and said, I would like to give your husband the Ambassador of Peace Award. So there it is. Not only are we going to put my big bear on the TKTS board in Times Square, but he's going to get honored posthumously as an ambassador for peace. The reason that is so important to me in the social pillar, because often you think, well, I don't do much when it comes to anything large or whatever. My husband was very introverted. He liked people, but he wasn't extroverted like me. Good thing, because if you're both the same, one of you is unnecessary. But this is what I know. He took his expertise over to Afghanistan, and because of deprogramming over 1,500 young jihadist warriors, they became contributing members of the Islam culture, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. And many of them now, since 9/11, 20 years later, are in their mid 40s. And there's an ongoing email thread that I even get from my husband, Bob, with them. Now, that's that piece that was never been said. Who knew that he would be down in Miami Circle? And this was in the 80s, those Polaroid cameras, remember those? Well, he knew that there was an injustice and in service to the Seminole Indian tribe. They were putting a new development in Miami, and they were going to call it Miami Circle. It's kind of disgusting, but it was just the truth. I found pictures when I was finding this needs to come to light. Developers were putting Seminole Indian tribes' bones in the dumpsters. Bob Bear was the whistleblower. He knew that this was a live gravesite. So, because of his work and going to the city and making a difference, this is what I'm going to say, make a difference where you are. Miami Circle now is a permanent spot and a historical marker. The developers still got their land, but it was a little further out. Make a difference where you are. Take care of you and your own world first, and then the world is empowered. You will see opportunities, windows to go into the flow of who you are and how you are becoming. You see, that's what he did with the energy field. And then as an envoy with the Department of Defense earlier on, BM before me, he was an envoy with Noriega in Panama and the Sandinistas in Nicaragua. He made a difference because he listened. So if he said, but Jody, maybe I'm an introvert. I'm telling you, Princess Moradeun Ogulana is one quite of an introvert, but this is how the princess is making a difference. Join us, as I said, not only for this wonderful time honoring my big bear posthumously with his Ambassador of Peace Awards, but this is where you can go, scan that code here, and I will tell you on the 4th, it will be a conferment with the ambassadors of peace. It will be, and then we're going to be going into economic forum. I'm so honored that Dr. Jim and I will be a part of that, which to me is just, getting and looking at gender equality, peace, justice, strong institutions, and partnerships with gold. But on the 4th, we're going to get dressed up and do the Ambassador of Peace. That conferment ceremony will be to elevate the visibility for these wonderful ambassadors. There will be 12 that will be showcased. Panel discussions, of course, networking opportunities, but we're building strategic alliances. Just like Dr. Nephetina always says, we're better together. So come and be with us at the forum. Come and be with us so we can just wind up everything all in peace, and then come be with us. If you're there on Monday, you will see the big bear up on the screen with his site, because he never wanted this either. And guess what? It's just got to happen. He's going to have his website up there, roberthbear.com. Go to AWHPI. You can see what Princess Moradeun is doing with the Ambassador of Peace Awards. You can see what she's doing with Africa Truly 259. What is this? Having clean air and water for everyone. That is what her initiatives are. Amazing when you hear your passion and how you feel about things, why you want to get this amazingness in your life. So ask yourself, what do I want to do? What do I want to do this year? What will make a difference? Maybe it's getting involved with one of these non-for-profits. Maybe it's just being a participant. Oftentimes it comes through volunteering, and then the volunteer hours add up. I had no idea that my volunteer hours would add up enough, and my impact. I was just doing the things that I wanted to do all along with my sons when they were in high school, in college, and then as a single businesswoman, it added up to a Lifetime Achievement Award from President Biden. Yes, it can add up. Little things do make a difference. So I want to go to our last sponsor for the day, and it is my partner, my teacher trainer, none other than Dr. James Marinakis, talking about the process, talking about what you can do, those daily things that make a difference. So let's take a look, take a listen to Dr. James Marinakis talking about the process.
The main reason I believe people's health is declining globally is because they don't do the things every day that they need to maintain themselves. They don't walk enough, they don't get enough nutrients, they accumulate way too much stress. They don't expose themselves to nature. They work under artificial lights that damage the rods and cones of their eye, their brain, disturb functions of their liver. Everybody wants to be free from disease, and they want to enjoy a long and happy life. At the Personal Performance Institute, we teach you how to do exactly that. It starts right in the beginning. The very first things you'll do, which are simple instructions, will improve your health, and they will make you feel better about yourself. Not believe that you feel better about yourself, but actually feel better about yourself. That's what the Personal Performance Institute can do for you.
And I was running away to get this book because this is how I want to end this segment. How did you ever know what you can do unless you've done it? How can you know? Well, I had never written one book. Here I was in this book, and I was in New York. We were back here, and I ran on out. I said, we're going to take the picture right here. It was at Times Square. Times Square. And I said to the photographers, that was 5 years ago, I said, I'm going to be on that board. And we're going to be on that board. Not only, I see that Dr. Nephetina has popped in, and I'll say with her, better late than never. I want her to say how excited she is about what we are going to do, not only in New York for the new year, and how we can just all make a difference. My goodness, I knew you would be there, girl. I knew. Better late than never. I'm going to. We
Oh
have
my goodness.
talk about the gala. We're going to talk about, but you know, you being the marriage CEO, you being the person that you are, that just does it all. And I'm going to say, and if you want to see a great show, it's a Serrano show. Are you at 8 or 8:30s on Thursday?
8 to 9.
Yeah, I had it right. See, because I've been a guest on the Serrano show, the marriage CEO. But Dr. Nephetina is coming on right now to say, because she is the UN ambassador for the princess herself and her envoy in North America. I just wanted to put this up so people can scan that in, because we've been talking about goals. We've been talking about how to thrive in 2025, and now take it into your, just, I would say more than anything, your 5 minutes on just what AWHPI is and what we will be doing with the UN. Please.
African Women Health Project International is headed by our visionary, none other than Princess Moradeun Ogulana out of Nigeria. And, you know, she is all about supporting the nations. And so she has a wonderful 259 project with the United Nations, and she is dealing with everything that deals with the sustainable global projects that are involved with the United Nations. So we are really excited. We're super geared up and ready to be a part of this amazing event that's going to take place this February. I know that she's been working diligently behind the scenes in preparation for everything that is forthcoming. And the ladies are getting ready. I've been getting hit up all day by different women. Are you coming? Are you coming? Are you going? Are you going? So people are getting excited and they are ready to be there in New York City. And I myself personally, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm
And I'm
overdone.
gonna say, of course, I'm so partial, but doesn't he look handsome?
Absolutely amazing. You know, Princess Moradeun really prides herself in supporting others and making sure that other people's lights shine. And I'm really excited that she chose to do this amazing presentation in honor of Dr. Bear. I am telling you, we are truly ready to be able to just shine another light on a humanitarian and a man who served us well in life, and now he's going to also still receiving accolades even after he is gone, because the work that he's done in the earth will forever be remembered. And I believe she just want to make sure that his name continues to shine bright as a diamond in the earth.
Yes, because it shines brighter in heaven. We know how that goes. So I was going to say I called up the princess the other day, and I thought it was you, and I started talking with her, and just like it was you, and I said, well, I've got you both in the same, and it says underneath there, Princess Maradi. You might have introduced me to Princess Maradi, but it's one and the same, because, my dear, the one thing I know about you is that you are queen. The princess may be
Thank
the
you.
princess. You are queen. And I ran across, this was Dr. Jim when we were talking about our book and what we wrote with our dynamic book, that we'll have updates as well about the Essence of a Woman project, because it's now that furthering of that project out in that social pillar and everything else. Uh, Dr. Nefertina, what he said, the essence of a woman is in everything, even men. Think about this. Even in men, you have those moments because you were half sperm, half egg. You got it. So embrace it. That's what 2025 is all about. And knowing that is that quantum energy field. You always bring your best to everything you do. I know this was just last minute, but I just want to thank you for coming on. I want to just put this up one more time. Just look for the Serrano show Thursdays at 8 p.m. You just go get ready for that show with your prince, Richard Serrano. Just give him my love. Thank you for doing this. And I'm going to see you at the TKTS board at the gala for our conferment ceremony, not only with my husband, Dr. Robert H. Bear, but 11 other world changers, because guess what? Everyone can be a world changer. Just start where you are. Much love.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Dr. Jody Bear. Take
I
care.
love you. And so just know that each of us can have that essence. Everyone has that quantum field of energy. I said earlier on, my quote, when you take care of you and your world first, the world around you is empowered forever. Or as Dr. Nefertina would say, we're better together. And that's what we're going to do starting in 2025. That's how we really will thrive, because no one goes it alone. You decide your birth date and your death date, but in between, we need each other. Who knew that I would be not even an author and I would be in a book with Les Brown, getting my picture made, and I'm in New York speaking on stage with Les and I said to the photographer, let's go outside. See, miracles occur every day. Beckon them in. What did I beckon in at that time? I beckoned in and I turned around and said, I will be on that board. Well, as things grew, I will be on that board with 20 of our other Healthopedia authors. Who knew? Guess what? Our creator knew, because we are spiritual beings in a human experience. What will you do and be Not just do. I'm going to change that. Let me rephrase that. What will you be? And how will you thrive in 2025 spiritually? Then go down mentally. As we said, Rex Sykes, just celebrate everything. Celebrate everything. And then how will you stay on top of it when you come into your emotional pillar? You're going to remember Helen Keller. In my life, I've never held myself captive to my emotions. And then you're going to go down into your physical pillar and you're going to say, you're going to take care of you and your world first, and you will be empowered forever. And then, as Dame Dory, it's just one word when I think of Dame Dory: leverage, leverage, leverage. And then we can go and be a part of the Buckminster Fuller legacy. So we can do something, just that's one thing. And think of how I can do it in the shortest amount. It takes an army of spontaneous cooperation without ecological offense or disadvantage to anyone. Let's do it together, shall we? And what we're going to be doing together will be then join us when we come together right here on Monday at, boy, I guess I must be really getting in to what I was talking about today, and in every way, because it is just that important to me. You can find out anything about me. Just go to drjod.com. Like, subscribe, and share to our YouTube channel, Healthopedia 365. You'll see these broadcasts on traversetv.com, but also come back on Monday. We're hitting the financial pillar from a different side. We heard from Cheryl Murphy about a financial plan. Now, with mega entrepreneur and global lotto Todd Poindexter, his mindset is one: he's just going to win no matter what. But he's doing a global lottery and lotto for humanity. What a great mix. And then Princess Ogulana will be in detail going through what you can expect and how we can be together in every single way. We will be together because we just say, and every single day and every way, we have a great healthopedia kind of day. And how do you do it? It's that mental mindset after you know your spiritual connection. Life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, life will be oh, so sweet. And until Monday, and in every day that you have your focus, your intention, your word, like mine is peace, just make it a great healthopedia kind of day. Ciao for now.
Woman up, 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 up.